Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 14 of the Moving Forward podcast. My name is Rabi, and I'm here with my co-host, Andy Lamrock. How are you doing today, Andy?
Good, Rabi. You just scared me. Did you say episode 14? That means 14 weeks we've been doing this.
Yes, we have. We've been doing a lot of topics within those too, so it's way more videos than just 14.
Wow. I think, didn't we start this out because obviously it was a really good way to stay connected and have a conversation during lockdown, but 14 weeks on and we're still in lockdown.
Yeah, we started this to, stay connected during lockdown, and the lockdown, I think, took things a bit too far, and then, we were like, we're going to match it, so let's keep going with this. There's no reason to stop.
So what you're saying then is, even though if we come out of lockdown, we're going to keep going?
Well, yeah, but we're going to have, in addition to that, we're going to add some video, I think, because we can finally get together and have a camera going, and people can see our faces. So whether that's good or bad, I think we're not going to struggle with it. The people that are watching us are going to be the ones that are going to suffer through it.
So there you go. You heard it first on episode 14. We are a thing, and we're going to keep going.
Yes, we are.
Awesome.
So for the last few weeks, we've been talking about technology, innovations, how people were using technology to cope with the lockdown. Today, I'd like to talk about our personal experiences in the process of coping with lockdown. So you and I live in Melbourne, and we've been in lockdown since March 23rd. And after 3 months of lockdown, we started to see easing of restrictions taking place. And then suddenly we were hit with a second wave of the outbreak, and now we're back again in lockdown. So I really wanted to know, Andy, what are the things that you've been doing that you think you can share with us that helped you the most in staying productive and keeping just your mentality straight?
Yeah, sure. This is a good topic to obviously share with everyone. And I'd have to say, I don't think I ever planned to be in this situation forever. So I think the word of the day would be adaptability. And so with a little bit of hindsight and a little bit of foresight now, I think it's really important to realize that, those cliche terms of, this is the new normal and, work from X or work from home, etc.
Yeah.
These are just part of our life now. So rather than looking at this as being the new normal, I've actually tried to look at this and thought, how can I adapt? How can I be more effective in the environment that I've been dealt? And with a bit of a reflection as well, and not being not trying to be too dismissive, but in the beginning. We felt really scared, really, nervous what was going to happen, etc. And I think the fact that we locked all of Australia down and not separately like we are now, we had a community that was really united and stayed together and really wanted to fight this thing. And so now we have some that are privileged and some that is not when it comes to freedom or restrictions, if you like. So it means that we've got a very fast-changing environment and an environment that's not the same for everybody. So being able to adapt and embrace the environment that you actually find yourself in is really important. Otherwise, I think you're going to find yourself really stressed and possibly second-guessing a few things and going through some pretty difficult or dark moments. So, for me, I've always, Mr. Positive, as I'm known in close circles. Find a way to adapt, embrace it, and then when it changes, adapt again. I think that's all we can do.
Yeah.
How about you? What's it like for you?
Yeah. To be honest, for me, I was always kind of an indoor cat. it depends on the kind of friends that I have around me at the moment. Just before the lockdown, I had the kind of friends that really helped me go out more. I was, outside most of the time, either at work or at the gym or out with friends. The thing that really hit me the most is the closure of the gyms. Because when you go to the gym, it's not really just a workout. It's more of a trying to help your mentality by exerting all your effort at the gym. And then there's this feeling after you've been through a very heavy workout of just clarity. Your mind is just not thinking about anything. You're not worrying about the things you were worrying about, a few moments before the workout. But since lockdown, I managed to, adjust very quickly because I changed the environment. So I did spend a little bit of money on a number of things for my home office: monitors, webcams, microphones, whatever it is that I needed to make it more convenient to work from home. I did. I also, some of the things that made the biggest impacts to my life is that I bought a rowing machine. And
nice.
That was a expensive purchase, but I think worth the money because I'm using it almost daily, and I can get the kind of heavy and difficult workouts that I used to get at the gym just in my garage. It's just very convenient. Another aspect of this has been working from home, Andy, and you're clearly a very productive person. What are some of the tips, some of the things that you've been doing to manage work from home, and staying productive at the same time?
Yeah, that's good. I guess, as I said, adaptability, but I think the first thing was that we call it, working from home or the home office. I changed the narrative a little bit to help myself, and it was like, this is my office. So in other words, I have to own it, right? So I need to make this space mine, and I have the freedom to do that. So it's not like I'm sitting at a desk in the offices that the company has that I work for. I'm actually I'm in my office. So the big splashy thing I did was I got a big monitor, so to make work easy. I then got an electronic stand-up desk because I love to work standing up and sitting down whenever I'm presenting or pitching something in my line of work, whether it be customers or to products, stakeholders, etc. I love to stand up and talk and use my hands and those sorts of things. So the stand-up desk was great for that. But the best thing I've done is to buy a whiteboard on wheels.
Oh.
And I have that whiteboard right beside me, and I just scribble notes on it all day. So I'm quite a visual person. And so I've stopped using notebooks, and I've stopped using, scribbling on pieces of paper. I just scribble on this whiteboard. And so I'm always constantly reflecting on what I've written on the right whiteboard, and that's kept me really productive.
Yeah.
And I've been able to actually capture those notes and start to build almost like a diary, electronic version of those. So I'm playing around with some apps to take my writing and turn it into digital content as well, which is really cool. But that's been the secret for me to be productive, is the whiteboard and visualizing what I do.
I love that, and that's such an old school thing to do. But once you do it, you kind of feel like you understand why people love doing it. I love writing. What I use if I'm trying to learn something is writing on a piece of paper. Really helped me. I think I need to get the whiteboard as well. That's a great idea. It is one of those things where it's always in your face, so you're not going to run away from it. And when you one of the things that I struggle with is I use Google Keep, I use Google Tasks, I use Evernote, and you just have all these notes everywhere, and you're just confused. Okay, what am I going to do today? I have some tasks there, some tasks there. I need them all to be one place in my face when I wake up, and a whiteboard is the best I think, solution we have so far. There are also, I think you told me yesterday, you mentioned light boards, which were kind of like glass. Yeah, kind of like transparent glass with light coming from the sides that are used a lot in studios to, film someone writing things and explaining them on a board that is in front of them. I think, I might think about that. That seems like an investment that I can use in videography as well. Is that something that you would consider an advantage over a whiteboard, or are you satisfied enough with your whiteboard?
No, definitely. I think a light board would be really good because, the whole idea of a light board is that you can stand behind this pane of glass and write on it and use camera magic to make it appear for the people viewing the light board, as if the text is around the right way. So effectively, I can stare at a camera, I can present and collaborate with people and write on the light board, and everyone can see it. So it is replicating what you would have in real life, but it's happening on video, like, in a video conference call and things like that. And now we've spoken about VR and AR to do those sorts of things. I mean, this is just a really easy. I mean, you can get the geek coming out now. You can get a piece of mineral glass, build a stand, and put some lights up and drop down for like $300.
Best DIY project ever.
It's just fantastic. So a good mate of mine up in Singapore, who tunes into podcasts every now and then, he showed me his setup the other day, and that's where the idea came from. So a good shout out to Matt in Singapore for that tip.
That's amazing. I don't think I have enough money to buy all these things, but it's on my purchase list 100%. One of the other things that I think most people are struggling with at the moment is staying connected with people. Clearly the physical aspect of connection between humans is very important, but we have to abstain from that at the moment. So how do you stay connected with the people with your friends, with family, with colleagues from work? What are the things that you've been doing that have been helpful?
Yeah, okay. So the first thing is just call someone randomly. If you haven't spoken to someone, just give them a call. There's nothing like the power of a surprise. Yeah. So call someone out of the blue. Don't send them a message, or don't tag them in a social media post. Give them a call. Yeah. How you going? What's happening? It's amazing, and that's a real human connection because it's spontaneous. They're not expecting it, and quite often end up, reminiscing or talking about things that can possibly having a great impact on somebody. So I think that's important: the art of surprise and the true art of actual verbal communication. In terms of, from the work front, we've tried lots of things. We've tried to have virtual coffee meetings every day, and sort of after a couple of months they kind of got stale and didn't work and things like that. So we try to replicate what we get in the office.
Yeah, you put that at 8 a.m. Andy. Some of us are not as active as you are.
Hey there, come on. By then you'd be normally on a train travelling into the city.
Yeah,
to work or
but it's not normal. We're not a normal life. I don't wake up at 8 to work from home.
So, yeah, I know, like, wake up, put your slippers on, take 2 steps, and you're in the office, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. That's my transit for now.
But not ready for a call. No. Or, or a video conference of any kind, have a social media.
Absolutely not.
So, yeah, I've been opening up a video conferencing platform with everyone that I work with. Not for the intent of having a meeting, but just, I've said everyone, if you've got an iPad or something like that, or a little tablet that you can put, open it up on there, and we can all be working away, and you sort of simulate what used to happen in the office and lean over and say, hey, what do you think of this idea, or can I ask you this? And there's still a bit of spontaneity. It's not the same, okay? Yeah. Let's be frank about that, but that's important. I think the power of video is really good. I've got a young daughter who won't talk to her grandparents unless she can actually see them. So,
Yeah.
They probably cope better than what we do, because we like to be in person and things like that. But look, regular conversations with people, getting out and doing things, going for walks, and just saying hello to people as you go past. Trying to stay upbeat.
Such a strong thing to do with regards to the phone calls. For some reason, I feel like, and I think it's my personal feeling, is that phone calls are a bit too intrusive in people's lives. It's like I'm imposing. It's like when you knock on my door without calling me before. Although I understand it's not really like that, but I feel like it's a generational divide that we have. But such a strong thing. Like a lot of time, if I get a phone call from someone that I enjoy having a conversation with, puts me in such a good mood. But then again, we all get these phone calls from someone that you want to have a phone call with, but not at this time. And it's like, come on, man, just send me a message. But yeah, such a strong thing to say. Yeah, I think I'm going to start doing that a bit more in my life.
Yeah, and I would, have a go. And I get the generational gap. And our audience knows that we're from two ends of the spectrum, and so it makes our podcast a little bit interesting. But I should say one thing before we go, which is really important, is never stop discovering. So even in these times, like if you're an avid traveler or used to getting away on weekends and you can't do that, discover your local community. You're still allowed out in your community to exercise and those sorts of things. Go and discover the bike trail that you haven't been on before, or the park that you haven't walked through, etc. Those sorts of things. There's lots of little things. There's lots of little great businesses that I've noticed in my neighbourhood that I've never really paid attention to before. So discover locally rather than globally. That's what we've got at the moment.
The small things in life that we miss because of our busy lives, that are hopefully not that busy at the moment, but hopefully we'll come back to normality as soon as we can.
Hey, but I'm not, can I just not let you off the hook here, because I know you're also working on a project. So you specifically have found a way to grow and learn through all of this, and I know you're working on a project with your work. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, sure. So I've been working on this podcast for for about 14 weeks now. This is episode 14. Producing multiple videos, and it seems like I got the attention of some of my colleagues at work, and I've been asked to kind of reproduce what we've been doing over here in a more professional aspect.
You're saying we're not professional?
Well, I can't guarantee the professionalism of this conversation, but yeah, so it's just you do things, you work on projects, and the best thing you can hope for is to get noticed by the right people. And when that happens, really things start moving. I feel like for me personally, I went through different phases of life. A lot of time it was just nothing happening for a long period of time. And then something good happens, and suddenly everything else that's good stacks up on top of that, and just it's not a gradual development. It's really just a climb the hill very rapidly thing, and it's weird how that happens. It's like what happens when you become a celebrity. Although I'm not a celebrity in any sort of form, but what happens when you kind of become a celebrity? You get a lot of offers. And suddenly you're going more offers than you can take. And I feel like that's even with people that are not celebrities. Once you get a small success, get noticed by someone, suddenly things ramp up very quickly. And you got to be ready to take the chance. And I was ready to take the chance with my work. And hopefully more opportunities are to come.
Well, all I can say is that I know what you're doing, and for all our listeners, I think kudos to you. I'm going to give you that 100%. As they say, overnight sensation after a lot of hard work. So, if anyone wants somebody to curate and produce their podcast, reach out to Rabi. He's your man.
Ready to go, absolutely. And and with that announcement, about time to wrap up episode 14 of the Moving Forward podcast. Andy, thank you very much for being with me through this journey, and we're going to continue to go through this. Thank you everyone for listening, and have a great day.